So this is the world's first miner museum, the Bitcoin mining museum. So it shows the evolution of the mining industry with the very first Bitcoin ASICs and miners, you know, all the way up till today. Pretty fucking cool. And my buddy Tobias The Coin Dad, he runs the museum. And he's put together something really spectacular. And he's sourced super rare different miners throughout the history of Bitcoin. This is the only one that exists, and you're seeing the evolution of the industry. So let's go in and check it out. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man.
Same
this
here.
is every time I see the setup, it gets better and bigger.
Just like
it's
my
awesome. So this right here is really cool. Butterfly Labs. That is a gift from Adam Back. Adam Back is an early Cypherpunk cryptographer, and he gave him that Butterfly Labs device. It was one of the very first like Bitcoin miners that. I don't think it was the first one that actually got delivered, but it was the first one that was like supposed to be like the first ASIC. And they basically did the same thing that we were talking about yesterday, where they do the pre-orders and they send out some of it, and they realize, holy shit, these are making so much money, and they start pushing out. So there was a big drama with those, a huge drama, a lot of drama.
This is interesting. Read this.
Yes.
So it's 60 gigahash, but it mined 40 Bitcoin a day.
Yes, early
Bitcoin
on.
a day.
Yes.
40 Bitcoin a day, you're a trillionaire.
This is a cool story. Tobias has a really cool story about how he got one of the models he was missing. I think it might have been this one that he had to track down. And somebody looked him up online at the mining museum and found that miner, and they contacted him. And there was only a few hundred ever made. But the Butterfly Labs, I believe, was one of the very first, ASICs, and there was a lot of drama behind that whole saga. This is cool. So there's a signature from Adam Back, Samson Mao. These are famous cypherpunks that were very influential early on in the cypherpunk community. So they've signed some of these shoes and some of these different things. You can see some of these from magazines.
Who's Adam Back?
Adam Back is a famous cryptographer. Well, the word famous and cryptographer doesn't really go hand in hand, but if you were into cryptography and you're into cryptocurrency and you're into privacy and you're into libertarian ideals and philosophies, they're very influential and smart people. So I think Adam Back has actually designed some of the precursors of what Bitcoin uses in its algorithm. I think he was responsible for Hashcash, which was a very similar, this idea of hashing was something that he developed. Samson Mao is another cryptographer that has come up with a lot of cool things as well.
Hey, what do you do in this world?
What do I do in this world?
Are you just knowledgeable about everybody?
I just know a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, not bad.
Adam Back is the closest person to Satoshi alive right now. Did you know that?
I think
he
so.
He shot an email with his white paper to Hal Finney and Adam Back. Hal Finney's dead, Adam Back's alive. So that's the closest person alive to Satoshi.
Wow. But what's his name? Who's the guy? The guy who... I'm blocking on his name. The guy who last spoke to him. He took over Bitcoin for him. What's his name? Gavin Andreessen.
Yeah.
Gavin Andreessen.
Yes.
So Gavin's still alive.
Yes.
But,
I was just grateful and picking his brain because we were a part of this. We were in El Salvador helping this, and I was like, "Who is Adam Back? What does this have?"
Yeah, he signed our miner, the jalapeno over there, because that's
This is
what he was
yours.
mining with. The whole museum is mine. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice, okay.
Yes. He's put together something really fucking cool here.
That's beautiful.
But
This is
here's
awesome.
You know about that? That's new. You didn't see that last time.
No, I haven't.
That hash board right there, and there's a guy named Fried Cat
Okay.
who worked with Jihan Wu back in the day in 2012.
Okay.
He went to Harvard here in the U.S., Chinese kid with like a Vitalik Buterin IQ brain.
I got you. Okay.
And he read the white paper in Harvard and quit Harvard,
Wow,
flew back
love
to
it.
China
That's amazing.
to start making the ASIC chip. Nobody at the time has ever made an ASIC chip. So that's a 130 nanometer chip.
Wow.
We're today at 5 nanometers.
Yeah.
In just 10 years, we went from 130 all the way down to 5.
Wow.
How'd you get that? Did you just have them reprint that?
I swear, the OG
you
miners that
actually
I've
get
been
it?
interviewing over here today, and they seen that, and they're like, how the hell did you find that?
So you just own a Bitcoin mining museum?
Correct. I have the largest.
He's also a miner.
I'm like the Smithsonian of Bitcoin.
Yes. Which
That's
is...
what people are starting to call me now.
This is what I really geek out about all that history, and so I love it.
Well, yeah. So we came here yesterday when everybody was setting up, and we were just going down the lines. I'm like, dude, this is
Yes.
That right there and those two machines there are going to be like tens of millions of dollars in about 20 years.
I want Tobias to tell about the story about how you got I think it was in Sweden, the guy came across the one machine you were missing, Was that the very first one right there?
Avalon right
That's
there.
what I thought.
Yes.
Yes. Come over here. Let's show them.
Avalon one.
Uh-huh.
But last time you seen this, I didn't have this one. Now I got both of them. Nobody in the world now has both colors.
Okay. All right. Oh, you got both colors.
This one right here. I never had an Avalon one. I only had the Avalon 2 for quite a while, and for 3 years I searched for the Avalon 1. And one day, like right around April Fool's, I'm sitting next to my wife on the sofa, and I got a ding on Telegram saying, "Hey, you want an Avalon 1?" Like, get the hell out of here. A lot of these OGs know that I'm looking for one, so I thought somebody
just
made a
trolling
fake
you,
account
yeah.
and trolling me, you know?
I almost did that a couple
I
times.
was like, man, stop messing with me. You ain't got no Avalon one. And then he responded and said, yeah, I do. And I was like, okay, well then put it on a chair and take a 360-degree video of it and send me that video. And then I'll believe you. 20 minutes later, I get a freaking video.
Wow.
Freaking dude walking around this black Avalon 1. I swear, I'm fat, but that was the first time I ever did a cartwheel. So this guy didn't know what it was. He's a vintage PC repair guy for Apple computers.
Wow.
In Sweden.
Okay.
And he went to a yard sale like 5 years ago and found it for like $10 or something. And took it home thinking there's parts that he could use for his vintage shop, and realized that there's nothing having to do with PCs in here.
Yeah.
So he put it up, and then 5 years later, I guess he was cleaning up or whatever, and ran across it, and then looked it up on the internet and found out it's a Bitcoin mining machine. And then he looked up, and he's like, well, since it's so old, he put in 2 words, Bitcoin Museum. And then BitcoinMiningMuseum.com showed up.
Wow.
And then he went into my website and seen Telegram, and he didn't know what Telegram was. So he downloaded Telegram just to send me that one message saying, hey, you want an Avalon 1? I'm like searching all over the world with all these OGs for this machine, and the guy that knows nothing about Bitcoin hits me up with the rarest machine that I know.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
How much did he hustle you for?
So for 4 days of negotiation back and forth, I'm not going to say the price.
You said that last time too.
But I on-ramped him into Bitcoin.
Okay.
Because he's never been
Fan-
into Bitcoin.
Fantastic.
So I found out that Coinbase is running in Sweden, so I told him download Coinbase.
Okay.
And I sent him Bitcoin for this machine.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love
and
it.
then,
That's
like
an awesome
10 days
story.
later, I got a box at my house with this thing fully wrapped. I'm like, man, this is
Well, that
crazy.
is so cool.
Yes.
What a cool story. What a cool story.
So, yeah. That's the story behind this.
That is awesome. So where do you usually have all this stuff, like when you're not, doing an event? Do you just kind of pack it away? Or do you have an actual...
My security right here, David. He's head of security for the museum.
What's up, David? How's it going, brother?
He's an ex-police officer.
Oh, I love it.
He's also my neighbor and my GC.
All right.
Retirement home.
I love it.
And in my retirement home, he built an awesome wall for a shelf for the whole museum.
Okay, fantastic.
So I have a cool home. Like when I'm on video calls with people in my office, I'm surrounded with the backbone of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's like such an awesome feeling.
I know,
to
this
be
would
in
be
a room with all
you
of
should
them.
do like a coffee shop or something where people can just grab a coffee and walk by. And
how about a wedding ceremony?
Something.
People that are into Bitcoin walk down the aisle like this, huh? And look, the officiating, and Adam Back will be officiating right here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is so cool, man.
Oh, here's another cool one that you don't know.
Yeah, show us. Talk to us.
2010, the network was so small.
Yep.
Before GPUs came online.
Yep.
That somebody with an N900 cell phone figured out how to download the node and mine Bitcoin on it, and mined less than half a Bitcoin.
Wow.
And sent it to another guy with a phone, with the same phone.
That's
through
amazing.
Bitcoin talk between two people that don't even know each other.
That's amazing.
And it happened only once in the history of Bitcoin, because after that, GPUs kicked in.
Yeah.
Network went up, and you couldn't do that.
I know. Yep. I remember reading through some of Satoshi's old chats, kind of just talking about how GPUs would come eventually, but it was still when it was still CPU mineable. But that's so cool.
And that's the world's first phone node.
That is really cool. And the miner. Well, if it actually mined, that's incredible.
And send a transaction.
150 kilohashes. Wow, that's
and
incredible.
And there's the one Adam Back signed that out.
I did. I saw it. That was awesome. Good old Butterfly Labs. I know we talked about that before.
Most hated company in the history.
Many companies since have utilized their playbook. Bring in the pre-orders, send out all the money, build the miners, mine on the miners, and then don't ever fucking give them the miners.
Somebody walked into their office to go see them.
Refund the money.
And they seen the CEO's office with those on his desk, on the floor, on the table, surrounded in his office. He's mining with all
Oh,
that.
that son of a bitch.
Before they were supposed to go out.
That is
He said he has a photo in his phone somewhere that he secretly took. He hasn't found it yet, but I'd love to have that photo.
That would be a cool photo.
And then having the original box and the paperwork, that's by itself difficult.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, and then this one over here, this is a new Atom.
Yeah, they shut them down by the government after 20,000 pre-orders never got shipped.
This is Butterfly Labs too.
Wow.
They call it a mini rig, even though it's the biggest thing they ever made.
Wow.
They lied to the people by doing pre-orders.
Yep, of course.
Promising 1,500 gigahash.
Yep, yep.
What does that say?
Yeah, it's about 1/3 of that.
Yes. So they had people getting these saying, well, where's my other two?
Yeah.
But they paid 1,100 Bitcoin approximately on a pre-order.
Wow.
That's millions of dollars today. For
Wow,
one
that is
machine back
unbelievable.
then.
So this back in the day was 1,100 Bitcoin to get one of these bad boys.
When Bitcoin was 20 bucks.
And then it shipped at 1/3 the actual hash rate of what it was supposed to have.
Right.
It's fucking crazy.
Yes.
Daniel M. Ross.
Yeah, he's the one that donated the Avalon from that movie. So
Wow.
this was also in the movie Banking, The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin.
The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin.
Yeah,
That was a cool documentary. Banking on Bitcoin was another great one too. Miner was made by Informational.
They didn't make many of these either.
Wow.
And I actually found the founder of Cointera. He's in California.
Ah.
And I'm trying to get him to be at Mining Disrupt next year as a guest speaker.
Wow, that'd be cool.
I'm trying to get founders. I'm hunting them down.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
ANC Miner, the founder, is in Sweden. And I found him, Sam Cole.
Okay.
And he actually signed some of the miners for me at the airport.
This is so wild.
Yeah, this is, they only made 300 of these. One big chip under each one of these.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen an actual R4. That's crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the CEO of Marathon told me he was mining with that when he got in.
Wow.
Because he walked through my museum and he showed a lot of interest in that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, you already know all these.
These are the new top of the line, state of the art, the S19 XP.
I'm trying to get those guys to give me their new 170 terahash machine.
That's incredible. Have you looked at the specs on that thing?
Yes. Do you know what nanometer that is in there?
8, I heard.
How the hell you go from 5 back to 8 and
had
have
gain
more?
efficiency.
Yes. That is, I want to know that secret sauce.
That's while I'm asking them what the fuck I'm like, hey, who designed this?
I don't think they're gonna
Is it
say it.
somebody from, what's going on here? Because new competitive miners don't just come out of the woodworks that actually make a machine that's efficient and cost
Supposedly
effective.
the team behind them is actually the team that helped out with some of the big ones that are out there now, like Bitmain and What's Mine.
They have to have some connection because they wouldn't spill the beans to me though.
Some deep roots.
Yeah, they got to have some roots somewhere.
But I like how they solved a lot of the issues around it. The little digital screen, the on and off.
I like that. I like that too. It's pretty fresh. Yeah.
Quiet.
It's pretty clean. Yeah, I think it's like 3,400 watts for 170 terahashes. That's pretty fucking impressive. Not bad at all.
I got one of them
You got one of them coming? You're gonna test it out?
off that table.
Oh, did you really?
I had a one-on-one talk with him last night.
Oh, what's the cost for the nice one? They didn't even tell me.
30 TH, 30 per terahash.
Around 30. Okay, 30 per terahash.
25 for the smaller one.
So we're looking at
That's what they told me
about
yesterday.
5K, 5,500-ish, somewhere around there.
Hopefully they actually make their batch.
Yes. What else you got to show us? Give me all the cool stories. Your wife's over there looking like, Okay, how many seconds? How many minutes?
CEO of Kaboom Racks, Brian, donated this to the museum.
Okay.
What's special about this is that this is a What's Miner inside of an S9 body. What happened is that Bitmain made so many S9s that when S9 started to go downhill, you got all these bodies of S9s.
Yep.
Instead of taking them to the recycling center, What's Miner came up with the idea of making new hash boards.
Wow.
Put into the body of the S9 Bitmain.
Wow.
So this actually does 32 terahash. It's called an M29.
Interesting.
But it never got to market because Bitmain threatened a lawsuit.
Yeah, because they had all that conflict with Nehan and the other guy, yeah.
So they backed off basically, and then nothing ever happened of it. And I don't know how. I think it's maybe just a few hundred made.
Wow.
500. I don't know.
All right.
But it never went to the public.
Wow.
So this is basically a 32 tera hash S9.
Okay.
Which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing is taking the technology of the hash board with the chips and making the M20. And that's when the M20 came out.
Wow.
So technically this is an M20 inside of S9.
Do you have the newer what's miner stuff? Have you seen a lot of that? Like the
I have seen it, like the hydro. I mean,
the hydro and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't have that kind of pocket money yet.
Maybe we'll get one and donate it to you, so you can have it out here.
That would be awesome. I went broke doing all this.
I can see that.
Plus my retirement home, and my wife did all the shopping for furniture.
Oh wow! All right, well we'll see what we can do for you. Send us a message and let me know what you're
whatever
still missing.
you guys give that I don't have, I do just like what I did here. I give credit and
let us know what you need and what you don't have yet, and we'll donate something to you. So we appreciate you doing all this. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Know,
I'm actually interviewing OGs. Back in what year did you start?
God, I would say probably 2014. Kind of got in.
I'm doing 2010 to 2013.
Okay.
And I got
I was like right around when Ethereum kind of like started to launch. That's kind of like when I first found out about everything. Honestly, I came and I heard about Bitcoin and I'm like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But like, how can I participate? Like, I'm not a developer, I'm not a coder, like, you know. And then I came across this guy with this mining rig, you know. It was like, wow, you know, really fucking cool. I'm like, okay, well, how can I? At the time, it was like Bitcoin had already transitioned to ASICs, and I was like, okay, I want to get this ASIC. I go on eBay. It's like, I'm just a kid who graduated college. It's thousands of dollars. It's using a 220 volt outlet. You know, it's like, well, fuck, I can't run this. You know,
ran it in the dorm.
No, I mean, I was
waste their energy.
I was trying to figure out how to run that. I'm like, I can't run this at my house right now. Like, I have no way. So what I did was I built a GPU mining rig, and I started with Ethereum.
R4 was famous for college students.
Yeah.
Because it was spacey. It was like that. It's got that little rat wheel in it.
Yeah.
To heat out sideways, and it's quiet.
Oh
Takes
man.
a lot of energy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But
it's always good seeing you, man. And thanks for all
man, absolutely.
coming through.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! This is awesome. I love it.
Next year, Nashville and mining disrupt for next year is going to be even bigger and better.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for watching Consensus Protocol, your news source for everything blockchain and Web3.